want to tell you, Lucas, you're being like those guys who told us that I started with one rice and I made a whole farm.
Did you start with one rice?
I started with one rice, bro. I started with one rice. Now, bro, I've shared it like.
You have plantations going.
These things, with one rice,
Right.
I'll tell you this: if you want to have a practical thing, act worth it. For example, I used to have this thing where I just dress in only.
Now you're a
because
superstar.
I would tell myself, guy, I don't have the money to dress. I tell myself, okay, cool. If you know more than 3 people are gonna see you today, like when you're where you're going,
just try. Put in some work.
Dress your best clothes.
Hi, good people. Welcome back to yet another episode of Chai and Cocktails podcast, where we do not choke on it. And obviously, when I say we don't choke on it, that means every conversation and any conversation authentic we do get to have on this podcast. And as always, first things first, our cocktail of the day is our Passion Sprits. It is a replica of the original Spritz, and Spritz originally came from northern Italy, and during the 20th century, around that time, the origin is northern Italy, and during that time, the locals felt like the original wine they had was a bit too strong, so they would make sure that they add a bit of water into the wines they took, the local wines they had. The wines were a bit too strong. So that's where it came from. But over time, it was improved, or there were adjustments, or there was an evolution to what the drink was composed of, or what the drink consisted of, or the recipe of the drink. So what we have here is a lemon spritz, and it consists of, I'll share the recipe of it down below. But yeah, today that's what we're having. And over time, of course, like I said, the drink evolved and a few things were added to the drink. The bitters were not part of it. And from water, they changed into soda water. And now the drink is a more distinct cocktail over time. And like I said, we do not choke on anything here. So every kind of conversation we get to have, and you don't have a reason to be choking on anything, because why would you? We provide you with a cocktail and we bring you the tea. And today I'm so excited to have a co-host that is going to bring so much information, so much knowledge, so much fun to the podcast. And you probably know him, or you probably have seen him or heard his music, or I don't know, seen him perform somewhere. I'm so excited. And of course, you might have known him with a different name. Me, I call him Lucas. We are on a personal level, and okay, I'm kidding. But yeah, his name is Lukas Blacc. Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Fassie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay.
It's good to have you.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
You know the interesting thing?
Yeah.
We did this already, and now we're doing it again. How do you feel about that?
Are we going to break the fourth wall, you know?
We might.
The fans did know, but okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we're doing this again.
They need to know. It's all about being authentic around here. So the fans need to know.
We don't choke.
We do not choke on it. So don't hold back on anything.
I'll let you say that. I'll let you say that.
Why? Why don't you want to?
Diddy, like they say.
Oh, you want to choke on it?
No.
Okay, Lucas. Since you already know the drill,
yeah,
you're going to tell us, who is Lukas Blacc? Mm-hmm. Who is Lukas Blacc?
Lukas Blacc is, a musician.
Okay.
I would say, just to start it off. I used to say an artist, but a lot of people get confused by that.
Okay.
Because I have to explain, no, not the one of art. But, I'm a musician generally.
Okay.
I'm not genre specific, so I am very genre fluid. I do a lot of Afro beats, which is mainly what Africans listen to, because I'm a Black African.
What do you mean you're a Black African?
I'm literally a Black African. That's what it means. You guys,
it just
nothing
means
else.
You're an African. Just say I'm an African. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Black African too. Black Americans. Black African. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Afrobeats is majorly one of the genres I do a lot, but hip hop and R&B and mixing a lot of that.
Okay.
So I found myself fusing a lot of what we are used to in our African communities with genres genres that I listen to every day. For example, I start fusing a lot of hip hop with R&B, with the Afro beats that we have today,
Right.
which creates that version that Burna Boy created Afrofusion a while back. So if you want to know, like, because a lot of guys ask you, what do you do? What do you do as a musician? For you, what do you do? I want to put you in that box.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say there's a new box which is out of the box. So that Afrofusion is what I kind of do.
So that's the box I said. Okay, you keep saying Afrofusion. I remember the last time we talked, I told you when you ask someone who they are, they usually lean towards the professional bit
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
So
true.
now, aside from the professional bit of it, who is Lukas Blacc?
I consider myself. I mean, because there's two professions of mine. I'm also a lawyer on the side.
Okay.
A lawyer on the side is the craziest thing ever said.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's like a side gig.
Yeah, it's like a side gig. When I get time, sometimes.
You do some law work.
I do some, I just prepare a few documents here and there.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but I'm a lawyer here and there. I know why guys lean to that because it's the best way to describe yourself with very specific words.
Yeah.
But for me as a person, I am. If you want to know Lukas Blacc as a person,
Yeah.
I'm a very jolly guy.
Okay.
I'm very knowledgeable. That's not a flex. That is not a flex.
No,
I just am.
It is though.
I just
How do you
I-
know you're a knowledgeable guy? You're a smart person.
I just said I was having a conversation with my neighbors, and I just realized I'm one of those guys who knows a little bit about everything.
Everything, right.
Like you're not gonna catch me off guard with any
So
information.
you're informed.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, and I guess it's just a consequence of my lifestyle. Yeah,
Right.
The things that entertain me are things that develop me.
So what entertains you as you?
Like someone will ask, what's your favorite type of movies? I'll say documentaries.
Those are boring.
They are not boring. It's hard for me to sit there and look at science fiction. It feels so non-consequential. It feels like, I don't know, this moment is giving me nothing. Like when I'm,
So
watching.
there's nothing I'm learning from it.
Yeah, I'm learning nothing.
Okay.
I remember it started from high school, that kind of lifestyle. Like
Right.
people would be very enthralled by the lifestyles of, and funny, I was the drama club president, so I was the one organizing these donkeys
But
and all
you were
that.
not intrigued
But
by
I was
those
not so
things?
intrigued by them because I wanted to know about Winston Churchill and all that. I wanted to know how is the world shaped, like why am I living today like this and
Wow.
what type stuff. Those are stuff that intrigued me, So as a guy like that, I'm just a guy who is intrigued by new knowledge,
Right.
So, and also that's one thing that's to my detriment. It didn't help me with winning arguments,
because you're informed enough.
This is something which I feel like this is new for now. We didn't talk about it on the last one.
Yeah, we did it.
Because I feel like I always go into arguments with this genuine desire to learn something new.
Yeah.
I say that you think this,
Yes.
but then I think that of this. But I really want to know why you think that.
This is going to be interesting.
You know?
Today, I am going to borrow so much of your information because
Yeah.
I want to know all of it, what you think, what your opinion is, as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me. And since you already know the drill, it's a time for us to rant.
Yeah.
So, give me your rant. What is your
No,
rant of the week?
She knows me personally, so
Yeah.
she knows that I'm prone to ranting.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
why
thing,
we're starting with that.
Yo, I could go off about anything. Like
Yeah.
I could go off about space today. Then next
give
thing
it to me. Give it to
tomorrow I'm
me.
going off about the oceans and how we need to. Then the next day I'm going about Aga. It's crazy. So, yeah, man. Some of the things I like to rant about. I think most of the things I found myself ranting about generally is just people generally, like people how disappointing people can
are.
get.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
one of the few things, I know this is gonna come off controversial. Recently, there's been a spat on Twitter, about, I think there was this guy who had this controversy with his chick, I think.
Right.
I don't know the whole story, and neither does anybody.
Yeah, because
Neither
it's
does-
not over.
I think a lot of people forget that
Yes.
the only two people who know what's going on,
Are the two of them.
maybe even both of them don't even know what's going on that much, yeah?
They're playing the game so
So
much they
I
don't
just
realize.
felt like people were being so childish with the way they were approaching it. Like, it took me back to, that time, like 2019, 2020.
Right.
When we were, like, I personally at that time was around 20 years old, 21. And the things that I cared about was, like, if someone, like, said something to me, like, gave me a new piece of information.
Yeah.
I am so insecure, also worried about that, how that information affects me, you know. When you're so young, you're so narcissistic and you don't even know it, because the world is me.
Yeah,
And like,
you think everything is
yeah,
me,
and
me,
it
me,
develops
me.
some silly young attitudes, which a lot of your peers who are serious end
Right.
up outgrowing them. Like I saw so many disappointing people on Twitter that time, because I'm like, who the hell these days is still going, no men this, no women this? Come on. Come on.
It's 2025.
It's
Grow
2025.
up.
Even the young kids are not thinking like this.
Like, just grow up already.
even the young kids are more woke than you. Like,
Right.
you find silly posts like, I knew it. Women cannot never allow a woman to. And then you'd find, man, the man of this one. Man. And I'm like, bro, like, you are
Yeah.
exposing yourself. Like, that's one thing which I can rant about forever. Like, people expose their own problems so much
To the wall.
through their own personal characters. Like, for me, a pompous guy
Yeah.
probably can't please a woman in bed.
Okay.
That's for me how I
Why?
look at you. Because a guy who is so and these are small things that someone tells
Why
you.
does the two relate? Like, what's the connection?
Okay, and I'm not trying to say if you're a pompous guy and you feel attacked, don't feel attacked.
But-
but like, the small things like that, people expose themselves. I'm just trying to talk about how people expose themselves. Like a pompous guy, a guy who makes sure to show himself to the world. He makes sure to, you know, I not only have to have it,
Yeah.
but you must know that I
That I
have
have
it.
it, yeah.
You know, it's almost more important. Sometimes even it's more important that you think I have it
Than having it,
Than
in
having
fact.
it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, when you get to that level of security, and it's only when you know it that you get it, you realize, you start to look at the red flags of people around. You start to notice. And when you can't look back since you notice. Like, ever since you start noticing, you cannot look back.
Yeah.
Like, for me personally, it's one thing which I learned. Like, I suffered when I was younger from having like nervous laughs and nervous tics, like
What's-
nervous talking, whereby in the space of nervousness, I'd fill it with laughter or trying to
Oh.
make everything a joke.
To cover up the fact that
cover
you're
up
nervous.
that I'm nervous,
Yeah.
or like nervous talking, like especially those two things,
Right.
Because I can spitball off.
How did you deal with that?
I had to recognize that.
Okay.
I had to recognize that I'm actually nervous talking and nervous laughing, and there was nothing to laugh about. It's
not funny.
There's a roommate of mine who had to like give me like proper light because I was exposing myself, you know.
Right.
And I know that guys are gonna feel like I've gone off a tangent, but this thing is all connected, yeah. Like so many characters of people, like things expose. You find yourself exposing yourself. For example, I would be uncomfortable in a situation. I'd feel such an imposter that my best way of fitting in, and because I'm trying so hard to fit in, because especially when the music came, yeah, you find yourself in a space with like Navio
Yeah.
and Navio's crew. 'Cause
Yeah.
Navio's crew is like 4 guys with names also. You
Yeah.
get? So you're like,
And then there is you, yeah?
and all of a sudden you're trying to make a joke about the clouds. I don't know. Some funny, something that makes sense.
That makes
and
me want to ask. I feel like in your field there is so much of
yeah, but
imposter
shout out to
syndrome.
Navio, by the way.
Yeah.
So make sure that the Don Corleone song is out now.
Go listen to
Lukas
the
Blacc,
song. Look
Navio,
at-
Don Corleone, go listen to that thing and I'm streaming now.
Right,
Yeah.
right, of course.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, I feel like imposter syndrome is something that y'all as artists or as creatives generally.
Yeah, you got me from ranting to this.
I mean,
yeah?
that's the whole
I was
point.
giving
We
you
talk
the
about
topics.
everything.
I was basically giving you the interview.
No,
like,
we're
I was
gonna
setting
get
it up for you.
Yeah, that's a
Alley-oop
good
vibes,
thing.
yeah?
That's the whole point. So imposter syndrome, how do you deal with imposter syndrome? How do you acknowledge that, okay, I need to like step out of this feeling and just be what I am, if you believe you're good enough and stuff like that?
Yeah, a lot of people in this world think, okay, step number 1 of solving any issue is acknowledging that issue exists. And a lot of people misstep on step number 1 and end up rolling off track the whole time. Because I'll speak for men, because I feel like a lot of men, honestly, yeah, I need a men's conversation, like men, a healthy man talk, not just like as a man you should, not just a healthy man talk.
Yeah.
Also not a thing to give us excuses, but just a healthy talk. I think a lot of men will relate to this. a lot of men think acknowledging they have a problem is acknowledging weakness.
Yeah, true. But I feel like it is okay to acknowledge your weakness.
And even if you acknowledge weakness, they feel like they're acknowledging worthlessness.
Oh, right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I have gone through this process of thinking I should have it all covered. And when I don't, I am
You're
worthless.
lacking, yeah.
I am not just a guy who has some faults, but I am worthless. And guys fail to disconnect those two.
Right.
And step number 1 to solve anything is acknowledgement. First, I'm not saying I broke through my imposter syndrome.
No, but I feel like you're one of those very self-aware people I know, and that's why I want to know your opinion, because you're self-aware so much. And
don't choke on that thing.
Yeah, don't choke on it. So, as a person that is very self-aware, how do you deal with that? Because I feel like being very self-aware comes with its own bad sides as well.
Yeah.
So, how do you deal with imposter syndrome as someone who is very self-aware?
It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse, but you have to step into your blessings no matter what you get. If you're not put through the fire, then you're not going to come out as a good baked cake. A good baked cake has to go through the fire, the oven, you get. So if you're not going through that heat, you might as well be ice cream.
Wow.
Well, you get it. So
okay.
which is not bad too, but
we're still ranting though.
Well, I'm saying it's a gift and a curse. Yeah, you get it, because I am self-aware.
Right.
Hence, I will recognize my problems and I will be my biggest critic. But I have to use that recognition for something. It can't be for nothing.
Right.
That's why I'm talking about step number 1 being acknowledging the problem. Since I have the power to do that, I have to be able to now tell myself, okay, now what are we going to do?
What are we doing about it?
You get it?
Yes.
Because I can recognize, okay, you're not angry at that person. You're actually angry at yourself.
Right.
And when you start,
And that's the worst kind of anger to deal with.
That is the worst kind of anger to deal with. It is,
like,
it is brutal. I will tell you, it is brutal.
Right.
But you have to recognize you're not angry at the person, you're angry at yourself. I went through a relationship very recently whereby I realized this girl has done nothing. It has just reached a point whereby she has done too much that I have forgiven for the sake of peace, that now I am nitpicking for what she has done wrong.
You're trying to look for a
so
problem.
that I can resolve that feeling, which is now backlogging. You get?
Right,
and the fact that you recognize that, then you tell yourself, okay, now what's wrong?
What am I doing about it?
You have to be like, bro, if I'm not willing to have a conversation with this girl, then I have to let her go. You get it?
Interesting.
So those are the type of things. You acknowledge your pain, live within your pain, don't let your pain consume you,
And
let your
find a
pain
solution.
motivate you.
Right.
Type situation.
See?
So those are the type of things. Like when you're it's a bitter pill to swallow, but that's
It
just
is. Because how do you tell yourself? Normally, when you're in that kind of state, you're trying to find who to blame, and it's hard to point it on yourself and be like, "It's my fault." It's
And trust
hard.
me, the more you exercise, not self-blame really, because that's a whole different thing. The more you exercise healthy thinking, let me call it healthy thinking, whereby you're not looking for, it was that person's fault.
Yeah.
You're actually asking us question like, what could I have done to make that situation better or easier?
Right.
You get what could I, and you always find that there's something you could have done. For example, if someone angers you and you went into a fight, do you realize you could have walked away? No matter what that person said, you could have walked away.
So it's about reacting in the moment.
Like you could have walked away and maybe be angry with yourself, but also be glad with yourself that you walked away. Now, as a self-aware person, you're gonna be like, that made me look bad, that made me wow.
Yeah.
But you're also gonna have to step into the fact that, bro, the way that fight could have gone, it could have gone very good for you and very bad for him, or very bad for you and very good for him. So regardless, there was no good ending to this. So walking away was a very good. Personally, I have never been in a fight in my life.
Do you want to? Do you
No.
think you have a chance to
Let me tell you a
try?
funny situation. One of my uncles, who's one of my closest uncles, I told him this. I've never been in a fight. Funny, we have not yet talked about music.
I know. Which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
an uncle of mine told me, you have never been in a fight.
Yeah.
You're not a man.
Wow.
And this is not when I was like 8. I was like 16, bro. Like really.
So in your mind, you're thinking, I need to be in a fight
I'm
to be
telling
a
you,
man.
till I was 20,
You were
I
thinking
thought
that.
I am not a man because I've never been in a fight.
Damn.
But then I had a growth spurt at 20, 122. I said like gaining weight. I was like about 100 kilograms, 6 feet. Now I'm about 92. And then I almost got into an altercation with someone, and I thought, okay, I've never been in a fight they could beat me.
Right.
But I could just chuck them over the balcony.
Because now you're a big guy.
Yeah, I have the ability, and I know I have the ability to do that.
Right.
And in that moment, I realized I don't need to fight. I know I can defend myself.
But I don't need to prove it.
Yeah, I don't need to prove it to him. Unless you're paying me money, because then that's a whole different situation.
It can be billable, yeah?
UFC, hit me up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, grab a few guys, toss them around. Because, yeah, man. These are things, like, I've seen a situation where a guy, some two guys, I remember I was in Lumumba Hall in Makerere University. There was this whole culture of closing the gate so that no one gets out and you're supposed to give money or something like that.
Yeah.
So they closed the gate on this guy, scrawny guy, looking slim. This guy beat up 2 people.
The slim guy?
Slim guy, just and he knocked out one of them. You guys watch knockouts on knocking out someone, you've probably concussed
For
them.
a second there, I thought you were about to mention wrestling.
No, like
you guys watch, and I'm like, where do people watch
professional wrestling is the best form of entertainment ever. I have to go on record, but that's a whole lot.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Schedule this conversation.
I will.
I
will.
We have to talk about pro wrestling.
That's very debatable.
Like, I saw this guy knock out this guy, and his first thought was not celebration. His first thought was,
sure,
I might have put my parents in a hell of trouble.
Right.
Oh, for what? Guys to say, oh.
Get in the ghetto, Leo.
And luckily, the guy never went head first. He went back first and he sat down properly. So, just all these things in life, just self-awareness, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it gets easier. It gets easier. Just have the bravery to and trust me, it takes bravery because you're fighting against your biggest enemy.
Right.
Who
and
is
it's
yourself.
Yeah.
Because why is your biggest enemy yourself? You know all those things that no one needs to abuse you to tell you.
And you can't abuse yourself.
You know those things whereby someone
day.
abuses you and you be like, it's true. It's harsh because it's true. You get it?
Yeah.
Like, you know all those things. You know that you're pathetic in those ways that you're truly pathetic.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, you have to understand that, okay, but yeah, I also know my strengths.
So how can I fix that?
How can I now balance that situation where I step into my positives? And it's crazy. But it takes, just like anything, practice.
Right.
You practice it when you're not feeling it. You don't feel worth it, act worth it.
Wow. Okay.
That is something I would tell people out there, because someone will tell you, Lucas, you're being like those guys who told us that I started with 1 rice and I made a whole farm.
Did you start with 1 rice?
I started with 1 rice, bro. I started with 1 rice. Now, bro, I've shared in like, you get it.
Your plantations
I import
going.
these things, with 1 rice,
Right.
I'll tell you this. If you want to have a practical thing, act worth it. For example, I used to have this thing where I just dress anyhowly.
Now you're a superstar.
I would tell myself, guy, I don't have the money to dress. I'll tell myself, okay, cool. If you know more than 3 people are going to see you today, like when you're going or you're going, just
try. Put in some work.
Dress your best clothes. Dress in your best clothes. Not put in some work, because guys will feel like, I may have. Dress in your best clothes. You have those nice ones, those ones you tuck away.
The ones to keep for special occasions,
And then later on in life, never know some opportunities will open for you, because life is a process of always growing.
Yeah.
You will find yourself in better positions to still take care of yourself. There's the fake it till you make it type thing. Act like you're worth it, and trust me, you will start feeling worth it.
Right.
Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Just because you want to have a better body, you don't feel like you will ever have a better body, but
you want to.
Just do it.
Okay.
Trust me, one day you will have a category here which will make you feel like, bruh, I'm that. Anyway, that was a rant. I'm done.
Your rant was very good.
I'm not choked on it.
I felt, please don't choke.
I feel like a preacher though, eh? When I was younger, they used to tell me I should be a preacher.
Why didn't you take the
path? No, I used to go on the pulpit when I was
younger. You know
what
I believe?
Hella Vaseline on my face, just go and be like, praise the Lord.
Do you know what I believe?
Yeah,
like they say, everyone has a spiritual gift here. I believe my spiritual gift is preaching as well.
Really?
Yeah, because the school we went to, we used to do a bit of preaching. My O-level school, we had chances of you going to preach and share the word and stuff. So I always stepped into that. And my O-level school also had that kind of setting where you get to preach for an entire week. So every single day of the week, you think of a scripture, there's someone, and I felt like I was doing really good, because I feel like explaining the scripture is so easy. So preaching can't be the worst spiritual gift. You should just open a church.
Yo, I was the biggest. Open a church.
Open a church. I'll come.
I
and
won't open a
usher.
church. I'll open a cult. Let me tell you something.
Why a cult?
Yo, get 4 guys whose minds you mold to follow you.
Who believe in you no matter
They don't
what.
believe in anything.
But
they
you.
just believe in you. They don't believe in morals.
How do you do that? Because there's money. There's a lot of money
It's
in
much
there.
easier than you think.
For real.
Trust me. Even like, okay, let me not. Guys are going to think I'm psychotic. But guys are going.
Anyways, talking about knowing.
Fassie's gonna clip this and just add like dun dun dun.
Of course. Anyways, talking about knowing and ranting. My rant for this week, I feel like this week I really, really had a lot on my chest to rant about. To a point where I could not rant anymore. Like I have it like right here, and I can't rant anymore. I am so. You talked about disappointment. This week has been like that week of disappointment. Okay, my guests, I love you guys very much. But do you know, I woke up this morning, we're supposed to show up for the recording, and these guests are like, we can't show up. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to get someone to show up within this time? And I reached a point where I couldn't rant, I couldn't be mad, I couldn't be pissed. I'm just like, I'm done. So for this week, I'm not going to rant. I'm just going to let it go.
You always have to rant though, but just pick the people you rant to, because sometimes you get boring when you rant.
Are you volunteering?
Yeah, I'm a good listener because I don't have to give it back to you. You know, you have to listen to me too, so I practice listening. Yeah.
Okay, talking about listening, I want you to give me. We're going to do the triple three. What is your top 3 Ugandan songs? Top 3, the ones that you'll be like, no matter what, I'll put my hand for this song because it's so good. It could be yours, it could be for a friend,
like currently
whichever.
or all time?
Currently. Okay, you could give me whichever you choose.
Of all time is crazy because Radio and Weasel could single-handedly be on that list.
Okay, let's hear
I
that.
think I was listening to a song yesterday which, guy was ahead of his time. I think Destiny has a funny way of working,
Right.
And I would hate to say this because it sounds insensitive, but like Radio, listening to him now, I feel like maybe it was God's plan because this guy was singing 20 years ahead of his thing.
Like he's so
He
good.
would be on a song and he's singing 2025 in 2012. And
What
I'm telling
does
you, he was
that
doing this song
mean?
like,
What does
you
it mean?
let me go so high. You know that song, like Washington was on it, Red Banton was on it, Diamond Oscar. So I remember that I was singing to myself like, Bully Chimu,
don't know
Diamond
that song.
Oscar. I was in like, let me tell you that story.
It does.
So I was like, Diamond Oscar, all that, like, let me go listen to this song.
Yeah.
I listened to Radio's verse. The way he was stacking his vocals,
Amazing.
the way he was, my God.
So, okay, that's song
So
number
ahead of
1.
his time.
That's song number
It's
1.
not number 1, but that's what I'm saying. Like Radio and
no
Music can
particular order,
because there's
but
Street Lights too, which is
it's
when
in
we're
there
going to listen to
somewhere.
Street Lights, Radio and Weasel, you
It's
know.
good, yeah. It's a
Street
good
Lights,
song.
you've heard the song and the Street Lights.
At least I know that one, yeah.
Yo, I don't know if you're gonna cut out every time I sing because you know, guys may say, is that a singer? You said you were a singer,
But you said you could do a lot. Okay, what's the third on the list?
of all time,
Of all time.
another song by Radio and Weasel.
Okay.
Featuring some guys from South Africa called LOC and Ville. They are twins.
Okay.
They are white South African. They are white Africans.
Okay. You had to prove your point.
Yo, let me tell you something. I'm
You
a
had to
stand-up
prove your
comedian.
point.
You know, I bring it back this whole time, bro. I bring it back. I tell a story.
I mean, we get it. We get it. Okay.
So LLC and Ville, Lochinville are white South Africans.
Right.
They have this song called Dan with Radio and Weasel.
I've never heard of
My
it.
God.
Amazing.
They are different. Obviously, they are in urban sound, South Africa, all that. They're going crazy. Weasel, yeah, we love Weasel. Good on Weasel. Yeah, Weasel is always an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 on the songs, you know, straight up.
Yeah.
Radio. My God. Like,
He's breaking the scale.
I listen to that guy and I'm like, how am I still getting inspired? He's supposed to be a local artist. He's supposed to be DT, you know, like, because these days, I'm telling you, there's a straight hard line between DT and UT. You get it?
What is DT? What is
DT
UT?
downtown and uptown?
Oh.
Like there's a
okay.
straight hard line. Like I'm telling you, and this is something promoters need to understand. There's a hard, thick line.
Between the two.
Comedy Store and Jameson Hangout are not the same people.
That's true.
DT does not mean that people don't have money.
Okay.
People make that mistake. And people think that you uptown,
And there's a lot
uptown
of
are like
money
the elite
downtown.
Kololo.
Yeah, there's a lot of
DT
money.
in Kololo. There are guys who are in DT who have like warehouses in Kololo. The guy built his what they call arcade. Yeah. It's arcade. Like guys carry sacks in his building. Type guys be like that. Guys like driving a TX. He will go to comedy store, listen to like the likes of Spice Diana.
Yeah.
I was seeing Eva Peace the other day at the Eastern tour.
Yeah, she was amazing.
East Side tour. She was amazing.
She
But
was,
like I'll give an example of her. I don't think she'll come for me. Obviously, you know, Lucas Blacc is not checking that.
What are you
but
trying to say?
If she comes for me, I'll tell you, Eva Peace, it's out of respect, you know.
You're good.
She did a show at the Mavens, you know. I was performing just before her with Tennessee. The crowd, when me and Tennessee were on stage, and like Joshua Baraka, artists related to like me and Tennessee, like uptown artists, not necessarily. Uptown does not relate to like financial stability. I want you to understand that. It's just these kids who have gone to like Budo, kids who have gone to Smack, Seta, Namgongo.
Who speak slangs and things.
Like you get your
cool.
your YouTube is mostly like podcasts from the UK. Like it's not that you have more. You're just more oriented to the urban lifestyle. You get it?
Right.
We did that show. Me and Tennessee were doing songs that are not mainstream. Most Ugandans don't know them. But that crowd which came for the Mavens tour, Campus Kids, know our songs. They know our songs very well. 6 in the morning. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Until Eva Peace performed her hit song, I Hear Vocals Massaging Me, which is a mad hit.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Until she performed that, you could see she was... The crowd was a bit iffy.
The crowd didn't get it.
The crowd was a bit iffy. They were like, you know? It was hard to get them there. They don't it's not what they're exposed to.
Right.
Now there are those hit songs which you'll hear by force. They said, we used to say in primary, by force by Chindas.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know what it meant by force by Chindas, you know? Like what the Chindas did to you guys. But like, there are those hit songs you'll hear by force. Like Nana. Everyone downtown knows Nana, everyone uptown knows Nana. But like,
it was that by force
promoters
song.
need to know how to book guys. You get basically, man.
And you know, it's a 333, so you're
I'm realizing why you called me as a co-host.
I
bro.
know,
It's a thing, bro.
I love that though.
I feel like when am I going to allow you to ask a question? You know, it's crazy.
You're supposed to tell me your top 3 artists in the country, in Uganda.
A Pass.
Okay.
A Pass is the greatest of all time.
And
alive.
also, it has collaborations.
He's the greatest Ugandan artist alive.
Listen?
And I'm speaking objectively.
Not because you've worked with them.
No, objectively speaking.
Okay, I agree.
A Pass is the greatest Ugandan artist alive.
Wow.
Radio.
I thought you would say radio.
Radio is the greatest Ugandan artist of all time.
Okay.
Beating that guy will take a miracle worker to be born. A guy who can do miracles in the studio.
Right.
Miracles, I mean. Because that's what the guy was doing. He was just dropping them monthly. You know, so... I would say top 3 artists right now. Right now, if you're saying right now, A Pass. But I've already filled for you my all-time list already. Number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
So
the third
number 3 in Uganda, right?
In Uganda,
I love to shout out Navio. You know, I love shout out Navio because. And you will say I've worked with these guys, but
you've worked with them, and it feels like you're just
to my own greatness. You know, maybe it speaks to my own greatness. You know, so I'm at that level now where
you're showing off, but it's good. It's good.
I'm at that level now whereby, and it took me 5 years. I'm telling you, it took me 5 years of nothingness sometimes. So just to smell there, because I'm not saying I'm at there, I'm smelling their level. I'm like, that's where the door is. I'm seeing
You're peeping into it.
Not peeping yet. I can see the structure of the door over
You're
there,
looking at it.
I'm looking over into it. So I would say Navio is at least has to be given props.
Since you've collaborated with these people
20 years as a rapper.
And you're still
as a
relevant.
Rapper.
And you're still very relevant.
He has never pretended to be a singer. That is something. When dancehall became the genre, Chidandari became the thing.
He never switched.
He never, ever switched. He never took the easy road because trust me, he could have taken the easy road. Even on those songs where he gives you now, he still raps, and he raps bars which if you're not listening,
you're not
gonna hear. You get so.
Yeah.
You have to be impressed. Navio has to be an all-timer on that list. Navio has to be an all-timer.
So those are your top 3 artists of all time.
Of all time. So if I'm to replace the third spot right now, because A Pass and Navio will be my number 1 and number 2 right now. Number 3, man, it's undeniable what Joshua Baraka is doing.
I mean, yeah.
It's undeniable. Joshua Baraka is...
I can't even say...
Clip this, Fassie. Clip this. I hope you put this as a short because I want Joshua Baraka to see this.
Yes, please. I will.
What he is doing is undeniable. I hope he never has... Because in his songs recently, I was seeing like he was feeling the pressure of the moment a bit. And I'm like, bro...
You have this already.
The pressure is because you're doing it.
Right.
You get it?
Remember in our last conversation, I told you that sometimes
undeniable.
pressure is good because you get to realize that you're doing something because people are talking about it.
It is not just pressure; it is the privilege of going through pressure. There are people who just wake up and they just go to sleep,
and there's no pressure, no stress.
But
so you're saying what? Stress can be a privilege?
there are people. Right?
Okay,
And I've told you, my biggest thing is people. There are people who wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep for a week, and he won't feel bad.
There's
like
nothing.
he won't feel like, man, I should have chased something this week.
Okay.
I should have like hustled something. Like he won't feel a certain type of way. There are actually people like that. And
so that's where the pressure becomes a privilege.
And those people go through no pressure.
I mean, I feel like
I know some boys of mine, and they're friends of mine, and unfortunately, they're friends of mine.
Yeah.
And fortunately, because they're nice people, but unfortunately, you get it. I know these guys, they sit in one place the whole day.
Doing
every
nothing.
day. I don't know what they do, but if you want to find them,
you know where to get them.
all day, every day. There's no way.
Okay, crazy.
You can be, trust me, even if you work somewhere, you'll find yourself having to like do something on the weekends, move, develop yourself.
Like change location at some point. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, they're in one all day. Like those people do not get to experience the privilege of
being
pressure.
pressured, yeah.
Like, you don't get to feel the aspect of like feeling like, man, now I have to achieve something. There's something on the line. You're fighting for something.
Yeah, so we're still on the trip.
Hopelessness is bad, by the way.
Okay, still on the triple 3. Top 3 collaborations of all time.
A Pass, Navio, bro, if Radio was still alive, I'd be chasing him. I'd be like, bro, please. I beg.
So your top 3.
I think Weasel is my closest. So I think I should hit up Weasel.
Yeah, hit him up. And
hey, yo, clip this too. Hey, Weasel, bro.
how many things are we clipping, yeah? But yeah,
the
sure.
ones I say clip.
Yeah, clip them.
Hey, Weasel, man, come on. Let's do something.
Let's work together.
Let's work together. Let's do something, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So what are your top 3 collaborations?
I mean, I have worked with A Pass.
Yeah.
I have worked with Navio. And I have an international collaboration with Mila Igred.
Yeah, I like the song. I love the song.
Mila Igred is a Colombian artist. Shout out Mila.
Yeah.
She comes from Cali in Colombia. So we did a very nice reggaeton type tune. Came out very well. It's a very hard track.
It is.
And I have another.
Actually, my favorite on that EP.
Really, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, UG Vibrations
I don't
EP
even
out
know
now,
what y'all were talking about, but
UG Vibrations EP out now, out now. It has collaborations from A-Pass, collaborations from Navio, collaborations with Natty Nathan is on that. Natty Nathan was a big collaboration, yeah?
I can imagine.
And he has such a big heart. Also, shout out to Natty Nathan, man. Natty Nathan, I remember one time, I hit him up for a show, yeah? But then the organizers were delaying to organize the show. Like, I was supposed to perform at midnight. Not even at midnight, I was supposed to perform like at 11. The organizers told me I'll be going on at 3.
Did you still perform?
I went on at 2:30. Natty Nathan came on time and waited for me.
Oh.
And we performed our one song together. And then he mashed up the crowd. He gave me an extra of guys and because after he did that, the crowd was so happy. They asked me to do another song.
Wow.
So since people with big hearts big them up, because it's just,
Bless them, yeah.
Believing in
Bless
young
them.
artists is a big thing. A dream collaboration right now which I'm working on. in Uganda? Because I know that may be one of the questions
What
you're
should it?
coming to.
Yeah, okay. And I wasn't going to,
I
but
want to
yes.
do a sweep of Swang's Avenue. I want to do a sweep of Swang's Avenue. Like
So which ones are you targeting?
a whole sweep. Like, I want to do Azawi. I want to do Chitaka. I want to do Vinka.
Now,
I want to
since-
do Nwaji. I want to do...
Okay.
I want to do Zafaran. I want to do even Zagazillions, bro. I want to do everybody. Benon. I want to do everybody. I want to do...
You're jumping into the pool,
Julia
literally.
Sese. I want to do... even the ones you don't know. I want to everyone. Even everyone.
Okay,
bro,
we're
'cause
doing everyone. on
Those guys
front.
are premier record label, and in my life, I
Yeah.
know, bro. I'm going on tangents, but it's calm.
No,
that's what
go
I'm here
for it.
for.
Go for it. Yeah,
you know
that's
why
what
I'm
you're here
ranting
for.
peacefully? Because I know that's what I'm here for, guys.
That is what you're here for.
I
yeah.
want to challenge myself
Yeah.
to work with people who I would never think I could work with. You know, ever since I started because I was...
So let me ask, working with those people, would that make you feel like, okay, I have achieved some level of success?
It just challenges you to discover something that you have not seen. In life, you have known unknowns and unknown unknowns. When you meet these people, you start realizing the unknown unknowns.
Right.
Like, linking up with APAS, linking up with Navio, showed me certain things I didn't even know that I should know.
Right.
I didn't even know certain things were possible. You expose yourself to new atmosphere. It has to be upon you, because no one, especially when you're as an adult, no one's gonna help you expose you to these things. You have to take an initiative and say, you know what, I'm gonna take that next step and approach these guys. Because I will tell you, I guess my rapport with, and maybe for APAS, the rapport was crazy. Okay, yeah, maybe not so much, but my rapport with this people was not the best. They took a chance, you get it?
Yeah.
But the only way they took a chance is because this guy approached them and I was like, bro, I have this idea, first listen. You get it? If you did not have that,
There's nothing
there's
to do
nothing.
around
So
here.
take that next step, and the worst thing they can say is no. And they can't get. Ever since people stopped beating Michi Bok, I stopped fearing.
So clearly, no one is gonna beat you at this age. But like,
Hey, man,
what's
my
your
high school
idea?
teachers, bro, I have beef. You guys, and I'm joking.
Yeah, the schools we went to. But why is it such a thing in
Don't
Uganda?
be making you change the question.
if-
What are you question you're gonna ask first?
I mean, the whole point is we can have any kind of conversation.
True.
So,
Yeah, true.
so yeah, I wanted to ask, what is your idea of success? Like when, or at what point in your life would you feel like, okay, I have succeeded, I have made it? Or what is your definition? Not the dictionary definition, yours is yours. Like, what do you think success is?
Success is the point in life. Generally, I will answer it like this. Success is the point in life where you achieve how can I, bro? Like, comfort that you have brought upon yourself.
Ideally, it's close to what I think it is.
You know?
That being said, what's your idea of success as Lukas Blacc? What do you think success is? What is not the dictionary definition of what success is,
Yeah.
but your understanding of what success is supposed to be or is?
I feel like success is just basically we're talking about it here. You wanted me to use the big word, yeah?
No, use the big
I know you're waiting
word.
for me to use the big
Show
word.
off. Let me hear the big word.
Success is basically for me,
Yes.
it is self-accrued comfort.
Okay.
Like comfort which you have gotten for yourself, yeah? You have basically worked for something and you're basically in this position
Yes.
that you are in because of your own work. Now, there's also an asterisk to that, or like a qualification. I was trying to use an easier
You're
word.
using big words,
Like a
but
big
I
word to explain
like
a big
it.
word, like-
After here, I'm running to the dictionary trying to
It's so
find
crazy.
out what
When
you
I'm like
mean.
talking to my fellow lawyers, I feel like a fool for using big words, yeah?
Ah, okay. I thought
Yeah.
you.
'Cause
I
then
thought
you
you would
tryna
say I
look-
feel like normal because we all use like big words and stuff.
No. You just the people who use big words, like, who are you trying to show off to?
Yeah, like we all know these things.
Yeah, we all know these things. You get it?
Right.
So basically, like, for me, success for me would be a state of comfort.
Yes.
Which is achieved by doing what I like. You know?
Right.
So basically, more practically put, if I could make money from doing music and be comfortable, bro,
Let's do
I'm
that.
kawa.
Talking about music and success and all that.
But
in
funny, that's not
between.
even what I came into music for.
What did you come into music
To be famous,
for?
my G.
Are you being famous? Do you feel like it's
I
getting
mean,
there?
no, that's not what I want.
What do you want? You came to be
and I
famous.
keep watching Netflix documentaries where a lot of like these serial killers or like these guys who like go psychotic because like one of their biggest desires is to be famous, and I'm like, hey, that's not me.
That's not the line I want.
But like,
yeah?
I remember like since a kid,
Yeah.
notoriety is something that's, guys, I'm sorry.
For?
Notoriety,
Ah, they keep coming. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do some
Let me say,
dictionary.
like,
right?
being
You guys,
known, Kale.
if you also need explanations of what he's saying, I'll
Just,
put them.
you know, put them
I'll
in
them
like
down.
yeah, we're
in-
gonna have like a dictionary type thing in there.
yeah, right. Okay, yeah, you were saying.
Notoriety is a very big thing for me. I've always wanted to be known, and I'm not afraid to tell anyone, bro. This is what I came into this thing for. I never came into this thing to be
Because-
some songwriter in the back of some. Nah, I came to be that guy who wins the Grammy, bro. Like,
You know, you give an example of those psycho people or the serial killers that, you know, are in documentaries and stuff. And those guys normally imitate or copy
Yeah.
from like previous serial killers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I wanted to ask, in your industry, in the music industry, what is the difference? Is there a big definition between copying someone and being inspired by someone? You love radio and stuff, but where do you draw the line between copying his work and being inspired? Like, what's
Yeah.
the difference between the two?
I think you can get the copying and inspiring thing when it becomes a detriment. Yeah, like. Detriment,
yeah, you
detriment,
keep doing it.
detriment.
What is detriment?
Detriment
what
when it
does
becomes
mean?
a bad thing, guys. I
You have to
swear,
break
I
it down. We can't be choking on big words like that.
when
Right.
it becomes like a bad thing, there
Yes.
are people who try to mimic someone's story
Okay.
and try to mimic someone's way of life. I love radio. I'm very inspired by radio, just like I've said, but I'm not.
What is inspiration? Like, give me a clear
Like I'm
definition.
trying to put it for you practically because
Okay.
I am. And this is one of those things we're gonna get into if we get into it. I really have this big dream of practically explaining things for people. Like
You
I
do
have this-
explain a
I
lot.
want to break it down for you so that you realize how achievable it is. You know,
Yeah, break it down. Break it down.
I
Break it
am
down.
inspired by radio. What radio did makes me feel motivated to do something big
If
myself.
we could do it at that time.
But I am not radio. You
Okay.
understand? I am Lucas, born to Mr. Joshua and Miss Anita.
Are those your parents now?
That's my parents' names.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give their full names. I'm not
Don't
trying to
give
go
their
for
full name. We need
Shout
to
out
look
my
them
mom.
up.
Shout out to my mom, by the way. Love you, mama. Love you,
Who's
mama.
saying
You know
we're
what I mean?
shouting out to parents? Shout out to my mom.
Yeah,
But
like,
yeah,
radio was him, born to him.
right.
I am Lucas, who has these friends and this circle. Radio is him who had those friends and that
those
circle.
circle, yeah.
I am Lucas, whose mental composition is this.
Right.
Radio is mental composition is that. Same for everyone, even to my own parents.
That's what I want to understand. What's the distinction between the two?
So, when I am approaching life, I need to be aware
That
that
you're not-
not every. So, for example, if radio made it in 5 years, Lukas Blacc may not make it in 5 years.
Okay.
And when Lukas Blacc doesn't make it in 5 years, it doesn't deem Lukas
Don't kill
Blacc
yourself.
a failure.
Yeah,
You
true, true,
understand?
true,
eh?
yeah.
There are people now who will dress like a guy, talk like a guy, walk like a guy, do everything
In that
like a guy.
case, do you identify as a man or a woman? Like, what are your pronouns?
Fassie is trying to take us there, guys.
I'm sorry, but like, let's not drift. Come back.
So like, you have to recognize that you're your own person and you're gonna have your own story with your own challenges.
Completely,
And
yeah.
your own challenges should build an originality out of you. I remember, and this is a funny thing. There's a friend of mine when I was starting out in my career. She reached out to APAS and told APAS, I have this friend of mine. He's called Lukas Blacc. You should really mentor him. And she sent me, man, this APAS guy feels himself. This is what the guy said. And APAS had told her, why are you asking me to inspire this guy?
If
There is so much out there in the world that can inspire him. So many life experiences that can inspire him. And I
Yeah.
really was, just that statement made me feel like, Oh, yeah.
It was a trigger, yeah?
Like, live your life and live it to the fullest. You will know when you're not living your life. Trust me, you will know.
Right.
A lot of people feel like they need outside validation. No. You know when you know.
Yeah.
And the only reason that you feel like you don't know is because you doubt yourself.
Right.
You get?
Yes.
But there's that voice that always comes in your head that says, you're not doing right, Fassie.
Go fix it.
This is looking fishy. Or might you want to question this? That thing is always there.
That reminds me of self-sabotage. Do you feel like you get to a point where you sabotage yourself because you already know these things? It's hard to swallow the pill when you know it's your
There's
fault.
some people who don't care, Fassie.
So do you self-sabotage sometimes?
Yeah, I know. I self-sabotage.
How do you deal with that? Like, how do you find a way around it?
Self-sabotage. When I know I have done it, I know I have done it and it's for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I will do something completely unhealthy or unnecessary, but I guess it's maybe for myself. So I'm not gonna get into.
So
those particular
you're
things.
allowed to be selfish when it's on you.
It's not allowed.
Okay, then.
It's better not to. You get
But we do it anyway.
For the public forum and for the kids who love Lukas Blacc out there streaming my music, feeling like I'm their inspiration.
For your fans.
It's better not to.
That reminds me, like I can't get my head around it. You are Lukas Blacc, and I have a feeling you've met a number of fans here and there.
Yeah.
How do you react to fans meeting you? Like, are you used to the fact that people approach? Oh, I listen to your music. I like your style.
Yeah.
How do you get used to that? Are you used to
I
that?
try to authenticate them. There are some guys who have just heard of you, or they sometimes see a lot of people like crowding and they be like, oh, Lucas, you're bad. Or there are some people who have just, oh, that's Lukas Blacc. I know one song of his.
Oh, but then it intrigues them.
Yeah,
because
and there's some people who just want.
I think that's how I felt when I met you.
Yeah, but there's some people who just want to be around cool people or people who they think are cool. You have to also look out for those people. So
how do you
I
distinguish
will authenticate. I'll just
between
be
the
like, what's
two?
your favorite song of the latest EP?
They have no
That's
idea.
the easiest question.
But that's
What's the favorite song of the latest EP?
okay. Let me speak
Because
for
one of my best songs
Let me
right
speak
now
for
is
everyone.
banging, by the way.
What song is that?
The shout outs Don Corleone. If you Don Corleone, so if you don't know the song,
Yeah.
and if someone that hasn't had the latest EP, they'll be like, yo, but there's this song called, or like there's this song where you said, and they'll give you like how they experience you.
Now let me defend everyone else who meets you and doesn't know your latest
Not
EP.
just knowing. It's not just about knowing my song.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience with Lukas Blacc? Like, does the name Lukas Blacc really mean something to you, or does the clout that Lukas Blacc has mean something? Like, maybe you had a line where I was like, yeah, la turn up when the party turn up, and when you hear that, you wanna vibe. I don't care if you know that the song is called Turn Up. Or it's called Gyala
But
Turn
do
Up.
you know the song?
But did you feel
Do you
something?
connect
Did you
to the
relate to me
song?
in any way? And you always catch people in that. And Ugandans, bro, a lot of Ugandans can be fake a lot of the time, yeah? So you have to be able to catch that. Now, for the fans who are like real fans, who I realize, oh, you are a real fan and you fuck with me for real. I don't know if I can say that word, but like you mess with me for real. I always go out of my way to give you something.
Yes.
Like, I give you a moment. You know, I give you a moment.
I don't remember you giving me a moment. Give me a moment. Like we never had a moment. Like as a fan.
It took me 4 days to realize you knew me, bro. Like it took me 4 days. I think you knew me as Luke for the first 3 days.
No, I know you as Luke now. I relate to you as Luke now, but I know you as
Yeah,
Luke
but like
as
that's
Black
what I'm saying,
now.
man. Fassie over knows me, you guys. Like, if you over ask questions, I am Fassie. Yeah?
That's why you're over ranting for me. But anyways.
But like, if I meet a fan who, it's the same thing with girls. Like, if you pull up to me, let me say if I was a babe, pause. But if you pull up to
we're not pausing. We're clipping that.
But if you pull up to me acting like a Don Dada, you better sustain that Don Dada. You better prove to me that
you're
the
Don
real
Dada.
Don Dada. You get? Because I'm going to try to authenticate that. You get?
Right.
So me as Lukas Blacc, why I keep getting girls, why I keep getting successful, is because I come to you with me,
As
and that's
you.
the easiest stand-up to keep.
Authentic.
It's so easy to keep up being
Okay,
me.
talking about girls.
Just be like, woof.
Talking about
what you
girls.
saying, Mamacita, bro? Bro. And guys may be like, bro, 4 chicks may be hearing this at the same time.
And they think you're talking about them.
But happy birthday to my man. And then you see a meme of like 2 birds with 1 stone.
These are 4 birds with 1 stone. But talking about Talking about, what am I even talking about? What are we talking about? Talking about being
Fassie forgot the interview. But
yeah,
cool.
I forgot.
We
but
ranted. We
you're my
ranted.
co-host. You're supposed to remind me. Of
Yeah,
this thing.
yeah. I
what
forgot.
am I talking about?
You never told me what you're gonna ask now. You gave me like what we're gonna ask in sequence.
Okay. Talking about women and relationships or whatever. Like we
I thought you
always
said talking about women. I was gonna be like, hey.
You said, imagine you're a woman. Okay, we're not going to imagine that you're a man. So, talking about women.
Guys, emancipation.
Yeah, of course we are.
Don't cancel me.
I'm
I
not
beg.
a feminist, but women should be
Hey,
emancipated as well.
hey,
I'm not. I've never been
I think
a
it's
feminist.
better to be.
Why?
I think it's better to be a feminist.
Why is it better to be a feminist?
It's just the odds are stacked against you as a woman. If you don't recognize that, then
No, believing that there should be equal rights is a different thing from being a feminist.
no, I'm not
Because
saying that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying like believing the odds. I'm just saying, it's just believing that. It's like as a black man in America, for example.
You're in America?
No, I'm saying as a black man in
In your-
America. That's why I qualified it as a black man in America. I'm fussy, eh? As I see, bro, I be telling you guys, I be coming to argue for things. As a
Yeah.
black man in America,
Yeah.
if you are not necessarily, if you're not necessarily actively sensitive to the struggles of a black man,
Yeah.
then I don't know. You're probably missing something, or you've decided to ignore something. You get it?
Okay.
Like not everyone should be drastic with everything and come out on Twitter and post on Twitter every day and what. But I just feel like, for example, if a guy calls you out and like calls out your abilities as a woman, you should
Pause. What does it even mean? Calls out your abilities.
like, for
What
example,
does
like
it mean?
like if someone like pulls up to you and is like doubting whether you can do something just cause you're a babe, and it's clear they are, sometimes it's very apparent.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like you should have the sensibility to know that you have to activate the soldier mode. You know, you cannot just sit back
and just let it
and
happen.
be neutral. Being neutral is almost being part and parcel, almost because your situation is that dire. You know, that's why I don't
critical.
I don't blame girls who go extra radical.
Yeah.
I just sometimes just be like, I'm not gonna be too close to you because I may get the stray shots, but like I understand what the fuck, because I can't imagine what you're going through. You get, your situation is drastic, and sometimes it calls for drastic measures. That's why I feel like it's better for a woman to be a feminist. You get, it's just better.
Okay, fair point. I still think a woman can be very much emancipated
Yeah, you
without
can
being
be, true.
without being a feminist.
True,
but
true.
we'll come back to that.
Whatever that means.
We'll come back to
whatever that means.
I'll explain
You
it.
get it? Like I know what that means.
When we come
Feminist.
back, when we come back.
Yeah, my money needs my job. Brother, don't cancel my nigga.
Talking about money.
No,
do
though,
you?
I just really feel like,
Yeah.
you know, there's this whole thing that boys have been left behind. No, not necessarily. I feel like boys have failed to understand what it takes to be the men they hope to be in
So
society.
in conclusion, boys have generally willingly refused to understand. So let's move on.
No, let's not move on.
That's
Let's
what
not
you
move on.
say.
As a co-host,
Let's-
let us hold this. Boys, I feel like boys are not empowered with the information they need to be better people.
No.
You know, not
Why
necessarily better people. Like,
Everything is
I feel
about a
like-
man at the end of the day.
No, that's the problem also. You get it?
You know what?
That's part of the problem. Like, I feel like you think you owed the world. That's part of the problem. You get it?
So what is the solution? What are you
Misogyny
saying?
is part of the problem
Okay.
that is hindering men from becoming better people. You understand what I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
You thinking you are owed something just because you are dude, or because you're better than someone just because you are dude. It's part of your problem. Like,
Yeah,
it's part of the
and
problem. Like
It's part of the problem for a lot of men then.
in fact, they must. I'll tell you, must.
Now I
And
want to attack you. Let's talk about 50-50. Let's say you're in a relationship, 50-50. Do you think
These are some
50-50
of
should
the
be agreed
anyway,
on?
cool. But these are some of the small things that I'm talking like hinder society from developing.
Okay.
These small issues.
So misogyny should be gotten rid of.
In law, we would call them trivial. A matter which is moot.
It's small. It's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
Like, why are you putting so much attention to it?
Why? It's like you're in a murder case.
Right.
They found you with a knife in your hand.
Yes.
It had blood. The body was right there. But you were smiling.
Now you're speaking as a lawyer, yeah?
But I'm trying to lay this for you down.
Because that's an example a lawyer would
stop
give.
Understanding the English I'm speaking.
Is it the part-time job time? Is it part-time job time already?
I gave a reference. Like, but if they find you there and you're smiling, and someone is like, but he wasn't angry. We're clearly focusing on the wrong thing, right?
The smile. But it did.
We should be focusing on the dead body and the knife, and you get it.
Yeah.
What I am saying is, and I hope I can say the F word here.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck a 50-50.
We don't
bro.
choke on it.
Fuck
remember?
a 50-50. Fuck 100. Fuck 75. Your babe is your babe.
Take care of her.
If your babe is a don dada, who can on this particular day afford this meal more than you can, or it is what it is, bro. just let it be. Bro. I have personally very recently been in situations where I can't afford a date with a girl.
Yeah.
And I have to let the girl know
that I can't afford this.
I cannot. And this girl is honest enough to be like, bro, it ain't about
the debt.
I want to see you, my G. And if we are there, and when we reach the date, it was not necessary. It was like 55-45 when we reached there. And I was like...
So we have agreed that the 50-50
it is so trivial that when you focus on it, it takes your mind away from the important things. That's what I feel. Okay. Because you could be happy with seeing each other. And you'd be like, okay, how much do we have? 100K. And we have 100K collectively between us. And 100K is the money you're comfortable with giving and the money I'm comfortable with giving. And we shall go home and be comfortable, yeah?
Okay, so it's about communication.
Yeah, just...
Talk to your woman.
And if she's not comfortable with that, then find another woman who is. And if you stay with a woman who is not comfortable with that, then don't complain.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
And also to the ladies out there, you are not a bad person for wanting the guy to pay.
Yeah, clearly.
You're not a bad person.
Clearly you're not. A man has to take care of his woman. That's what I believe.
Don't choose a man who cannot pay and then complain.
Okay, it has been a pleasure, and I want us to do this again. Clearly, we have so much to talk about, but we have very little time, so we're going to do this again. Do you want to come back to the pod?
Yeah, but you guys get me ranting and shit.
Yeah, I love it. So we're gonna do this again. But for today, I'm so happy that you came. I'm so happy. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for creating time for this. And to close this, thank you so much for listening to Chai.
Don't slap the microphone, imagine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to behave, but you see, while you drink,
maybe pissed about the whole women.
By the time your cocktail is down, things are changing. Your stability is tampered with.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for listening to Chai and Cocktails podcast. And we do not talk on anything. So whichever conversation you want to have, come through. Let's have a good time. Let's have the cocktail. Because I mean, we bring you the tea and we give you the cocktail to wash it down your system. So join us again in the next episode of Chai and Cocktails. Once again, I am your host, Fassie Tawu, and Lukas Blacc is my co-host today. And if you want to say any last words or whatever. Yeah,
Lukas Blacc is my name. If you never knew, that's Lukask.
Follow him, listen to his music.
Lukask. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all over, Snapchat, everywhere. I'm literally everywhere, you know.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere you go, like MTN.
Yeah, and yeah. Is there more you want to say? Last words.
I love the world. I love life. I love music. Shout outs Bantu Vibes. Shout outs Tennessee. Shout outs the whole gang. Shout outs Fassie. Shout outs Jolet. Shout outs the whole gang.
Jolet is in the house.
You know what it is, man. French name Zagwan.
I know. She's so cool.
You know what it is, but yeah.
Effortlessly, yeah?
Yeah, man. We could have another rant about that whole situation.
We're coming back. Expect him back. We still have a lot of ranting to do. But yeah, thank you for joining us today. And the producer is chasing us,
guys. Let's go.
I know. Come listen again with us. Again. The next many coming episodes of Chai and Cocktails. And yes, we do not choke on it. And I am your host, Fassie Tawu. See you.
And I'm Lukas Blacc, members.
See ya.